Alright, skipping the intro. What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another random recap. In today's video, I noticed we are in the middle of June, and as we near July, training camps and all this are about to start. But with that, I would like to start rolling around my ranking videos once again. And of course, you cannot start off a ranking series in the offseason without starting all the way from the top. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking every quarterback from 32 to number 1. Some of the starters in the video might not be named yet, and I might be wrong, but I'm just going to go off on what I believe is going to be the full 32. Before we do get into the video, I would like to give a quick disclaimer. I am not a professional. By all means, if anything, I'm like the furthest thing away from one. You are meant to disagree with me. There is no such thing as a perfect ranking. Everybody has a ranking. Everybody does their own 1 through 10. Everybody does it, and everybody gets it wrong. Just the other day, I was watching one myself, and I'm like, this guy's an idiot. So you're meant to disagree with me. And if you do disagree with me, please let me know down below in the comments what you would have done instead. Hear everyone's thoughts on their 32. And all I do ask is if you are new, please subscribe. It does help the channel out and does get my name out there more. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into ranking all 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. Alright, to start the ranking, we got number 32, Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. See, I was going to pick between one of them, but you know, when the quarterback battle is so close that even Deshaun Cosby is about to snatch a chain, you are a different kind of ass. Plus, it's Cleveland. These dumb fucks wouldn't know what a good quarterback was if it smacked him over the head. This is the same kind of team that would fuck up a wet dream. As soon as Garrett jumped ship, it clicked in my mind. Oh my god, they're going winless. Like, peep the schedule. Try to debate me. Anyone. They'd be here. I'll wait, because it's not happening. Every other week. It is just going to be straight. Built ass with no defense to bail them out. And by that, of course, I mean Myles Garrett. He was the flex shield of this sorry-ass franchise, like a fish tank ready to crack. Without him, let the rebuild commence for like the 20th time in the last 5 years. If this offense can't tank for the first overall pick, then somebody needs to be shot. Your choices are a predator who's touched himself more times in the last week than he has a football in the entirety of his contract, and Shedeur Sanders, who's not as experienced with flaws that were carried by his amazing defense. Could he be great? Potential's there, but we just don't know because we didn't see enough. The craziest shit is I don't even think either of them will be starting by week 8. My prediction is both suck so hard we get Taylor Green by week 7. It's the Browns. They've shown before they're always hunting for the next quarterback, you know, the one who can be the guy. So I think depending on the record and just where they're at, they'll probably turn to him and see if he's got anything before selecting a quarterback in 27. That's why both these jackasses are number 32. The bottom of the barrel. Guys nobody else wanted and nobody else will take now. The only reason these asswipes are in starting talks is because it's the Cleveland Browns. Zach Wilson would look like a fucking genius here. Like anybody else, you're either second string or you're just completely cut. Because nobody is dumb enough to have this as their depth chart. For fuck's sakes, Jacoby Brissett would be an upgrade over the tune. I wouldn't even consider him top 30. The bar is just that low, so unless Sanders impresses or Watson reverts back to before his reverted history, nothing will be done. To any true Browns fans out there, I am truly sorry, I really am. I would have called the Colts made for Anthony Richardson before I even considered Watson. Maybe let the mascot try out. I don't know. Dylan Gabriel might even make a return, which at that point, shit's cooked. So how about instead of ranking either guy at 32, we rank their system as a whole this low? That sound good, everybody? Great, knew we would all agree. So with that, the Cleveland Browns are ranked number 32. Their starting quarterback, not on this roster. That's for damn sure. Start Sanders week 1 and let the ranking decide for itself. There's a chance he's okay and it doesn't work out, but with the lack of experience and just overall talent, I don't think he'll do the heavy lifting they're looking for. Expect like a barely 3,000 yard season with 20 touchdowns to 13 picks. Lots of running the ball, so unless Carson Beck is named starter over at Arizona and Geno Smith turns a new leaf, this is just as bad as it can be. Not the worst, but a quarterback situation I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. The Browns are ranked number 32. At this moment in time, I am not too sure who's going to be the quarterback for this team. Could be Brissett, that's what I'm led to believe, but I know he is holding out with demands for more money, which without understanding how much he's making at first, you would think he's being kind of dramatic. But when you see that he's making chump change at only $4.9 million compared to somebody like Jared Stidham from the Broncos, who's absolute dick, making $12 million a year, it's an absolute joke. Not to mention, look at his division and who he would have to face on a weekly basis. Yeah, no shit, I would be asking for more money too. Only $5 million to take starting reps while standing in front of traffic cone O-line, taking big hits on a consistent basis. I mean, just at some point, it's just not worth it. Someone pay the damn man. If you're at least gonna make him suffer on this team, make it worth his while. Last year, it was different. We all assumed Kyler was going to be the man from week 1 all the way to the end. Shit hit the fan and Brissett gets thrown in a bad situation, which he did play alright. Now they want to name him the starter for the price of a bag of peanuts. So you're damn right I'd be pissed if I was him. The punishment his body's gonna suffer is not worth only $5 million. So Brissett, do as you must. Anyways, let's say Brissett just does not get his needs and doesn't plan on starting. We then turn to Uncle Rico, who, let's be honest, is just outright terrible. Not saying Brissett is the savior for this offense, but if I was a Cardinals fan, I would much rather watch him take 50 attempts a game than Minshew taking 1. He's just mediocre. It's painful to watch at times. You know, just if he's the guy I want moving the needle, I don't want him. But now if our goal in mind is get the number 1 pick, which is exactly kind of what this team needs, and he's exactly what we need. And then you also have Carson Beck, which if you've gone this far to consider Sid the Sloth a possibility, you deserve to lose every single game. Not very high on the guy, I don't know if you can't tell already. But with no Brissett and plans to lose basically every game, I mean, why waste the time on Minshew when we can just give Beck most of the season, let him show what he's worth before the 27 draft just in case. It's the only way really wasting anything above a 5th round pick on that guy would have made any sense. If they pull Minshew out, then I'm going to drop this one all the way down to 31. Let me put it like this. Brissett is the least worst of the 3. Minshew straight up blows, and Carson Beck is a 50-50. Could he win you 3 or more games? Fuck it, who knows? But not starting him is one way to never find out. I'll tell you this though, he can throw a pretty nice looking interception. Either way, give me Brissett here at number 30 or start Beck and I'm going to put it all the way at the bottom. It's just how I view it. Unfortunately though, since it is the Cardinals, they are horrible with decision making. Brissett will not be paid and Beck will be QB1. Just watch. But if I had to put my 2 cents in it, I think they'll cave in, Brissett gets paid and he will be starting week 1. Give me Jacoby Brissett, number 30. Coming in at number 29, Michael Penix Jr. This one sucks, but you know, it's just reality. I was huge on the guy coming into the league. What the fuck has Penix Jr. done to convince anybody he's gonna be a starter 2 years from now? Let alone be his own team starter by the end of the season. This is supposed to be the next guy, the next one up. Penix Jr. He plays like penis though. He was a mystery in 24, inconsistent in 25 with the tag-along injuries starting all the way back from college that are so severe, it makes me question, can he even walk? So going into his 3rd season, he's struggling to beat a brain-dead Tua. He can't even win his own spot. It's Watson and Sanders practically, except Sanders doesn't have the medical history Penix does, nor have the talent, and Tua is not a full-fledged criminal. The only crime he's ever done is robbing the Dolphins blind. The only reason they're not below that duo is just because you have crazy arsenal all around you. You have arguably the best running back in the league, who showed you last year you don't need to pass shit to win games. Hand him the ball, he'll run the whole damn thing himself. But when you do need to pass, you have great underrated selections in Drake London. Now Zachariah Branch, whose speed should be something not taken lightly. Kyle Pitts, who fucks me over in fantasy every single year. This team should not be as bad as they are. The record does not tell the full story. If they had an actual quarterback capable of existing every other week, they would be absolute sleepers. It's the only position they can't seem to get right. I like the team, but fuck, dude, like, you know, as long as they have thing 1 or thing 2 taking the snaps, nothing will be done. But in my opinion, I want to say it's going to be Penix because this is where all the chips are invested and where they should be. 1st round pick was an absolute stud at Washington, which they select after paying Kirk O'Chain's starting money just to sit the bench eventually. He wasn't some cheap pick or just some call you could look at and be like, we'll get him next time. You can't do that. Like, first loaded as the 24 class was, this pick looks like a joke seeing what else was out there. If they wanted to stay quarterback, they could even had Bo Nix themselves, and it would have probably aged better than this. Taking Penix at 8 was a business decision, and one you take in hopes this guy can deliver you a divisional title, a playoff win. The future of Atlanta was in this guy's left hand, and all he's done is drop it and nearly hand it over to Tua, who got the boot from Miami just months prior to this. If he's healthy, you have to start him, no matter how ass he has been. It's why McCarthy is still getting a chance. You just gotta see what there is. It's his 3rd season and this will tell you everything you need to know going forward. He bombs it, that's it. He goes crazy, they pick up his 5th year option, call it a penis extension. He just has to start. If any week he's available and they turn it over to Tua, you've already fucked up. End of a starting career right there. Maybe not the NFL itself, but starting chances are they'll die right on the spot. So with that said, Penix should start. I'm gonna rank him number 29. I think fully healthy is still a better starting name than one like Cleveland has to offer. Definitely better than Geno Smith. I mean, he's got a good O-line, good weapons. I just cannot see how he fails. He's just got to remain healthy. That's it. Year 3, it's do or die. I just don't know how it's gonna go, or if he's even gonna make it healthy by like week 6. Either it's gonna be the Penix experience or losing with Tua, just because I don't know what to expect and I don't have high expectations in general. He plays like he's terrified of getting hit. That can only go so far. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. Both very disappointing choices. Gotta put Penix here at number 29. Coming in at 28, give me Malik Willis. Now, wait up for a second. Hang on. Let me explain. I think Willis can be a good starter. He's a damn good backup and was very entertaining. Somebody who I would love to see on Sundays if he could play like that. I mean, I even made a video at the start of my channel probably like 2 years ago saying Willis should start. Tennessee failed him and he would have been fine anywhere else I had it together. Everything I said then applies today. But where he is going, they have nothing, and I mean nothing, that says he's going to succeed. And it sucks. I think behind a good team, he can make a case for being one of the 32. But let's keep it a buck. This is going to be his only chance in the league, and he's only here for a year to be the team's punching bag next to Achan, while taking for, I don't know, Arch Manning. He essentially got a bag just to come make the team somewhat entertaining while they lose every other week because they're just that bad. Again, very unfortunate. This is probably his only way of starting, even though it's not going to last long unless he's like super elite, to where taking a quarterback in the stacked 27 class is no longer a possibility. I'm talking so elite that the talent around him looks good. Will it happen? More or less likely not, and they'll be taking a guy next draft. He's just a placeholder we don't even know can handle a starting job. So, if he's able to have a great season, awesome. But just don't set goals too high now. I mean, a quarterback can only do so much when the team around him is so shit. It just gives me no reason to believe he's going to be much of anything besides a stepping stone towards our next rebuild. I'm putting Malik Willis number 28. Coming in at number 27, Kirk Cousins. Not entirely sure how true it is, but the more and more I look into their situation, it seems they're going to start Kirk Cousins week 1. Up until, I don't know, let's say week 5, week 9. Point is, they want to start Cousins while Mendoza sits and learns. The smart thing to do whenever you have a rookie quarterback you want to succeed. The first move Vegas has made in a while to make me go, good job. So if any of this is true, then I have Cousins here at number 27. Not saying he's bad, but with Cousins, you kind of know what you're getting. He's just one of the more consistent veterans who can be dropped anywhere and he'll move the chains easily. Don't expect them to be a contending team now, but at least with Cousins, we'll have the offense looking much better and more competitive than it has the last 2-3 seasons. We'll have them looking pretty nice up until Mendoza's comfortable and the fun will really begin. Think of Kirk like the test dummy. He's there to test out stuff Mendoza would struggle if he was thrown straight into the fire right away. Now, for the slim chance it actually is Mendoza instead of Cousins, obviously the ranking would be just a tad bit higher, but not too high since he's yet to take a single snap in the league. The potential's there, and I believe Vegas truly has something special with his talent. You just gotta do him right. That's really it. So just trust the process and let him learn. So going into week 1 with the majority saying to start will be Kirk or Chains, I'm gonna put him here at 27. Coming in at 26, Daniel Jones. So this one knows where it does feel low because he was really damn good. I mean, the first couple of weeks, he really had you thinking he flipped his career all around. Had the Colts sitting with the best record. Stats were something we haven't seen out of him in a minute. They looked like a real contender, and it looked as if he found his spot. And for the Colts, it looked like they found their man on this quarterback carousel ride they've been going over the last couple of seasons. All of it does unfortunately make you question what would have happened had he never got injured. But this is not a game of what ifs. The injury did happen, and here we are now. The torn Achilles tendon. Not an injury you really look forward to having. But yes, Jones had it back in December. It sidelined him rest of the year, and just like that, the Colts' Sandy run was over. They would eventually pay him in the offseason and look to be running it back entirely with hopes he can be back to 100% before week 1. But so here's the thing, my issue with this is everyone knows an injury like this affects your game major. Who's to say he'll be 100% by that, maybe even 50%. Not saying he can't play, but I can't tell you he's going to exactly bounce back to the way he was before getting hurt, which even at that point, you still have to worry about him getting injured again, because it's Danny Dimes, and the one thing he loves more than money is getting hurt. Crazy as shit is they owe him $50 million just because what he did in 8 games. I mean, it was cool to see, but I would not pay him any much more than what he was making already, especially with his injury on top of it. There's just no fucking way he's 100% by week 1. I don't give a shit what anyone says. The start he had last year will not be happening again. Unless it does, then I mean, damn, he proves me wrong yet again. But with the way his mobility is going to be limited after the injury, I'd be shocked if he was anything than just mediocre. I still think he could be decent. I see at least 8 wins here. But beyond that, I don't really know. I really got to see how he plays before most quarterbacks, depending who you are. Coming off a torn Achilles, I got to get benefit of doubt and say it's going to take time to get back to how you were pre-injury. So either this contract extension is going to age like fine wine, or somebody's getting fired. Prove me wrong, Danny boy. You did it last year. Do it again. I'm going to give Daniel Jones number 26. Should be much higher, but injuries are a giant kick in the dick. Please let it be Murray and not JJ McCarthy. Please. Anyways, this one is pretty simple. Talent-wise, I think he stands over the guys below him on this ranking, possibly even some above him. He's got speed you can't teach. He's got the arm that makes him dangerous if the read is there. Only thing he's got that the other guys really don't is the frame of Jalen Brunson. But I mean, we gotta come to the conclusion and say yes, he did not live up to expectations when being taken first overall, but the Cardinals are such a horrible franchise that everything he failed at, you can find a way to trace it back to them. Aside from his injuries, not saying he's elite, but that team did him absolutely no favor. They tried, but they both failed each other in the process. So now he's taking his talents to Minnesota, where he should, and I say should, be the starter over JJ make handoff. But the fact I'm hearing reports saying the competition is close between the two, they're splitting reps, it worries me a bit, but assuring that there's a lot more time left, he should come out on top. So when he is QB1, all I need to see is him just prove himself on the spot. Prove he still has a chance in this league. I don't need crazy ass numbers. I don't need him to take the team to a 1 seed. I don't need MVP votes. None of that. I don't need it. Essentially, just do what Darnold did. And that's look good, look consistent, and stay healthy. More on the healthy part. But with the Vikings, if he can do just that, I'm telling you, he's on a team with a coaching staff that's hard to fail with. Unless you're just a really shit quarterback. JJ McCarthy. If he can't do it here, he ain't doing it anywhere else. This is it. You were the first overall pick. Show it! You got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, man. Just rip the ball 40 yards down the field and let them do the rest. And when you're not doing that, just run it in for 30. It really could not be that difficult. He is set up for success. Just show you're somewhat decent to still having it and just be better than JJ McCarthy. And this one-year trial might turn into something more. Fail this, and well, I think that's a close to your chapter of being a starting NFL quarterback. A lot of people have already sold their stock in believing Kyler Murray is going to become something big in the league. I'm somewhat on the edge. I still think he has the talent to do it. It's just, I need to see it. I really do. So that said, I'm going to put Kyler Murray 25. Coming in at 24, Bryce Young. Roll Tide, and I'm going to get hate with this one, because Panthers fans will argue with you like he's top 15. But at the end of the day, I still stand on what I say. He can be great. He really can be, but he's very inconsistent. When his highs are at its high, I mean, he's an amazing talent to watch. But with that, you also get the lows. And when I say lows, I mean they are very low. You give me the Bryce Young that battled the Rams team and almost won, I think he's got something. You give me the Bryce Young that played Seattle, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't say he's worth the contract extension, but the 5th year does help in giving him more time and the team definitely more time to make a decision. For me at the moment though, where I stand with Young is just the ceiling is not as high as some other young options in the league. Like, what his ceiling presents is the floor for some others. It's just average, and that's what he is. Not good enough for a long-term deal, but okay enough to keep around maybe 1-2 more years until we find something better. I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. He definitely did play himself into a better position today than he would have been if he continued to play the way he did back in 23, before or after getting benched for Andy Dalton. Like, most quarterbacks at that point would have probably been one and done, and if he wasn't the first overall pick and something that was very expensive to trade up for, he probably would have been done already. Because the way he started, I mean, you would be convinced, oh, this is going to be the biggest bust in like a really long time, the way the media was torching his ass. So good for him playing well enough for a 5th year option. But I don't think it goes beyond that unless he picks up more aspects with his game. I was high on Young coming in the league. He was a legend of my Crimson Tide, but I always feared what limitations the league would have on his game. Didn't want him to fail. He genuinely is a good guy, but he's not the face of a franchise. He's got the face of a future journeyman who's just serviceable to mid-level at best. Every stat you can find where Young has him near the bottom of guys like Tua. I mean, it all just writes itself. I've seen the flashes, but I need to see it some more. It's just another case of make or break. I'm glad the Panthers are trying to give him all he needs, but I don't believe he's a long-term solution. It's just the inconsistent quarterback play that has him this low. I think if they truly ever want to be contenders, I think they gotta start looking other ways. Roll Tide, but give me Bryce Young, 24. Coming in at 23, Tyler Shuck. For someone who dogged on him so quick as I did before the year, please allow me to apologize, Mr. Shuck. I didn't know you were like that. Although, unironically enough, I mean, I should have. He played for my Red Raiders. I will bite down, eat crow, and say I was wrong, saying it was a dumb pick. It was a good pick, and with the way he played, I really do wonder how far they would have gotten if he started week 1. So with that pick, the Saints somehow struck gold, and looks like they got the guy of the future. That is, as long as he can stay healthy. He didn't get hurt last year, thankfully, but with a history like like his, it's definitely always something to have on the back of your mind. So long as he's healthy and the team around him can also stay healthy, because with this team, injuries are so common they built a hospital straight into the dome. What he was playing with last year, all straight off the bench. Like, this team cannot catch any breaks with the injury bug. And of course, they add the most injury-riddled receiver out of college onto this team. Tyson and Love are going to go from splitting reps to sharing a medical tent with how unlucky this team is. And just when they're starting to look good, somebody's got to go down. It sucks, and I'm telling you, fully healthy, this is a team that would have gave the NFC South a run for its money. They are my dark horse for this upcoming season if everything goes to plan and it all falls back on Shuck. This guy has a real chance at launching himself in the top 15 talks depending how the year goes. Really good quarterback, and it was probably about the only reason I was actually watching Saints football later into the year. But the only reason I have him lower now than someone like Ward or Dart at the moment, despite the ballsy talent, it's just one, not going to make a huge deal of it because it's pointless, his age. While it doesn't have an effect on his play, it just means he has less room to make mistakes. If he has a down year, it's going to hurt his contract talks if he wants to be the eventual franchise. And number 2, he's only had 9 starts. If he had the full go-around, he'd probably be top 15 now or even top 20, so a small sample size to work with really isn't a lot to say he's better than some guys who've had the full workload, but it is a really good taste of what's to offer. So if this team can just stay on the field, they're going to be good, and he's going to put up crazy numbers. Calling it now with this team, injuries will be the difference maker. A difference between being future NFC South champions, a playoff appearance, to just having another 6-win season. I'm expecting a huge leap, and I look forward to see what Shuck's gonna cook up. Giving him 23. Coming in at 22, we got Jackson Dart. Really impressed by Dart's first season. It made the Giants actually watchable, and for a good portion of it too, they had you thinking they were gonna be trouble to face. Him, Scatterbo, I mean, they practically dog-walked the Super Bowl champions in like his 3rd start ever, and it's like, you just don't do that and become nothing. He put the league on blast. They got something special, and whenever everything finally clicks, they are going to be eventual contenders. So the rookie year, massive success. My only complaint, it needed less medical checkups. By that I mean, stop trying to get concussed for fuck's sakes. Dude, Tua is not a starter anymore. No need to compete for the most in a single season. Like, shit. I mean, I'm not even trying to exaggerate like some people in the comments will point out. Oh, but it's just a scare, not the actual thing. It was a statistic that on 50% of his games he started, he's been evaluated. Not diagnosed with a concussion itself, besides one time, but an evaluation is still an evaluation. And it's not something you want to hear for your young starter who's got all the potential in the world. Somebody you hope is responsible for this rebuild. You want him to be there. It might be his playstyle and what makes him Jackson Dart, but if nothing changes, he'll be right on the bench besides Scatterbo butting helmets over who could shatter their brain the fastest. So with that, the question is, can he stay healthy over the entire duration of the season, and will the team around him give him any support? Because I can't say it was all his fault the way he was playing, when at some point it was just him and the power of friendship. Like, yeah, no shit, he's gonna go try and do everything himself, so having a team around him should make things much better. He's got a new O-line on the way to actually do what it's paid for, a coach who isn't a complete fucking moron, players returning from injury, he's in a much better and more improved situation than year 1. So I expect greatness. And for Dart, all I ask is, can you just protect yourself? I'm going to put Jackson Dart 22. Coming in at 21, we have Cam Ward. The definition of watch the film instead of the stats. Like, I kid you not, if you did watch the Titans, you know exactly what I'm about to say. This team was absolute horse shit. Anything less than what he did was the expectation. No quarterback, besides maybe 3 or 5 I could think of, would have done good with this team. Like Vegas, you come here, you were set up for failure right away. Numbers might say he wasn't that impressive, but the footage says he was the only thing worth watching on this offense. And once they finally was surrounded with what he needs, which is what it looks like they're doing with this offseason, he's gonna put up larger numbers and look like how people wanted. I'm just still upset they couldn't land Jeremiah Love, who I think would have been tremendous help to a young quarterback like him, and to a system like this largely in need of a run game. I mean, hey, Carnell Tate is still a plus compared to what he had previous. Him, Wan'Dale Robinson, a much more educated offensive coordinator who doesn't play call with a thumb up his ass, and most importantly, a much better O-line. Pretty much everything we were hesitant about when he went to Tennessee to begin with. The stuff we were complaining he wasn't going to get, it looks like he's going to be getting. Year 1 wasn't exactly some paradise. It needed work, and over time, as they continue to build around him to fasten his development, it should pay off large. If they can get everything rolling, I mean, he might be able to take this team to the postseason. Okay, maybe expectations are too high. It is Tennessee after all. Let's just say about 7-8 wins. Either way, however you view last year's class, he's still the first quarterback taken off the board in most people's redrafts, and for good reason. The tape will show you, if you're not just a stat watcher, it's a Lamborghini in a trailer park. We've seen it before. Good quarterback, poverty team. Year 2 should look much better, but it is Tennessee, so don't have your hopes too high now. I'm going to put Cam Moore 21. Coming in at number 20, we have the last ride of Aaron Rodgers. This one's going to be exactly a rerun of everything he did last season. Look, respect A-Rod, one of the greatest to ever do it, top 10 in my books, but please, go away, enjoy retirement. What the hell else do you need to prove? You're 42 and have done things in the league your entire career quarterbacks now won't even be able to do in their entirety. Retire! Go home to your non-existent wife you keep yelling about on the Pat McAfee show and just stay there. For the Steelers' sake, yes, this is probably the better move. I mean, it's better than definitely throwing a rookie into the fire, coming off of a season-ending injury over at Penn State, or even throwing Will Howard out there, who I'm pretty sure the training staff forgot was even on the depth chart. It's better than anything else they had, but we already know how this is going to play out. Steelers will go 10-7, 9-8 per usual, make the playoffs, lose the wild card. Rodgers will throw for something like 4,000 yards with the duo of Pittman Jr. and Metcalf, barely winning enough games by more than one score. It'll be pretty mediocre outside of like 3 games that have no business going as hard as it should, like the Bengals game did last year. But yeah, outside of those 3-4 games, it's just going to be very solid or very disappointing. No in between. I'm going to put Rodgers here at number 20. You don't just find leadership like this anywhere else. This is the best veteran in the league for a reason. One of the best to ever do it for that reason also. And the gameplay he still is able to deliver at his age is still efficient enough to say he can deliver you a winning record. You know, just don't count the Jets because, you know, they're sorry as shit. But you get my point. He was consistent there as well and did the best he could what they provided. Telling you this though, give him a clean O-line, you're talking business. Anyways, I'm going to put A-Rod number 20. I think there's talent above this ranking that gives you a better chance in today's league, but he's still above some of the more or less experienced players who have ways to go. It's perfectly right in the middle. Past his prime definitely, but he can still ball the fuck out when he feels like it. To end out on this note, thank you Aaron Rodgers. Not enough words can say how much I'm going to miss seeing you on Sunday nights. My dog on you time for time again, but it won't ever be the same without your talents. Have a good season, stay healthy, and thank you for everything. Rodgers goes 20. Coming in at 19, CJ Stroud. This is the last time I'm gonna defend this sorry son of a bitch. You know how many times I've stuck my neck out to say he's not a bad quarterback? The Texans were failing him. He had no help. He's still the same Stroud from 2023. I'm done. That was it. He disappointed me badly. A quarterback who I ranked much higher than this last season. He disappointed me. I like Stroud, I really do, and as a Bama fan, I'll even tell you, I was higher on him in that draft than Bryce Young, and after this 2023 season, I was like, I called it. Texans have their man. 2 years later, 2023 CJ Stroud would bitch slap this motherfucker if he knew the way he would play. It all went south. I don't know where it happened. I mean, the moment he lil broed Caleb Williams, everything just went down. You could say it went down there, or when he was getting interviewed and praised like he was already a Super Bowl champion and the greatest thing since sliced bread as a rookie. Walking around like he was already a top 5 name. Like people were ready to crown him that already just off of the one rookie year. 2026, people are ready to throw his ass out for Davis Mills. Davis Mills! No disrespect to draft neck, but when you, CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year, are considered worst on the field, then if Mills took over in the playoffs, you are sorry as fuck. I was already half convinced they were going to bench him anyways in the Patriots game. I was reading comments saying bring in Mills, and Mills would give them a better chance. Craziest part is they probably aren't all very off. I know for a fact Mills doesn't throw an interception every 5 plays. That was horrible, and it's a performance I'd like to call a wake-up call. So with a wake-up call, wake the hell up. Wake up and get back to 2023, CJ. Even 24. Anything but what you were last year. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's make or break. You want that contract? You play for it. 3 years ago, it wouldn't even been much of a debate. Yeah, you're going to pay the man eventually. But now it's like, is he even going to be a Texan 2 years from now? He's just been on a decline since, and unless he turns it around, he is going to be somewhere else eventually. Because most quarterbacks in this league would love to play behind a defense like this. I guarantee you tell them, all right, this is a Super Bowl team. Don't fuck it up. They're not going to mess it up. You don't need crazy expectations playing behind a team like this. You don't need Mahomes-like numbers. You don't need to carry like Allen, and you don't need to score 40 like Burrow. Just don't be shit. 2 touchdowns and hold the lead. That's all they were asking. Justin Herbert would have won a Super Bowl with this team. And yet Stroud did exactly what he wasn't supposed to. Play like a fucking moron. So CJ, you got one last chance. Not just with this team, but with me defending you. I said you're a good quarterback. Please prove me right, man. It's like you're good, but it's like, damn it, be great. Slowly slipping down the slopes, please. Climb back up. Benefit of the doubt, you're taking them to the playoffs every year you started. although defense mainly was responsible for that last year. But you seem okay and solid enough to still stay here in the top 20s. You're good in the regular season, but I'm telling you this now, sail the season again, I'm going to drop you in the rankings. Crazy how easy you can go from the top to nearly the bottom in just a few games, or just even one season alone. For him, that Patriots game really exposed it all, and thankfully for the Texans, it might have saved them some money depending on how the year goes. This is it, Stroud. One chance. Do not sell your team again, because I'm telling you, that team really could have went all the way. It's such an embarrassment to see a quarterback who was so highly praised just fall the way you have. I'm going to put you here at number 19. Coming in at number 18, Bo Nix. The craziest thing possible is sitting here and wondering what would have happened if his ankle didn't get fucked up during the Bills game overtime. Like, you know, could this have been the Super Bowl MVP? Not saying would have, because I mean, the Seahawks are just a different breed, but I mean, this would have probably been an AFC champion. I don't know. I really liked what I saw in the postseason. Really pissed me off the way it ended. I mean, it should have been Drake May versus Bo Nix, not Drake May versus Jared Stidham, one of the worst backups I've ever seen. Fucking bum. And I loved what I saw in the regular season. That said, he stays about the same. I think I had him like maybe 18 or 19 last year, somewhere around this area. You know, nothing wrong with it or not trying to diss his play. Lots of potential, but he pretty much had a clean, solid repeat of his rookie season, just without as many mistakes. He threw for 300 more yards, 4 less touchdowns, 1 less pick. I mean, he played just really about solid to where there was no large difference in his game. He was good year 1, and he's still good year 2. Not elite by all means, or hasn't showcased anything crazy like a giant it factor with a large ceiling. You know, something you would find in other quarterbacks from his class, like Jaden Daniels, Drake May, or Caleb Williams, but that's fine. For what he offers now, more coaching and development to go, he's proven he can win already, and he can take them to the promised land. Nix does more good than he does bad, and I don't think he gets enough credit for the run last season. Yes, he has one of the better head coaches in the league and a top 5 defense to keep everything straight, but to say he didn't contribute anything like I've seen some people go off on, it's kind of crazy. The offense was all bone. Without him, it's not as good, especially with the lack of run game they had last season. He balled out to make it look a lot better than it really was. Definitely one of the more underrated passers in the league. But that's changed all in year 3, which is going to be a big one for Nix. I think it should tell it all, you know, whether his ranking skyrockets or just stays the same now that he's got a star receiver on the way to actually give him a great weapon that isn't just solid to mediocre. Do I think Denver makes another run? I'm not too sure. I think they can. The defense is still crazy, and depending how his ankle holds up, they should be able to pick up right where they left off. My prediction for him this year is at least 4,000 passing yards with 30 or more passing touchdowns, which should really all be doable at the end of the day if he doesn't start the year as slow as he did last season. Giving Bo Nix 18. Coming in at 17, Jaden Daniels. Now, wait, hang on a minute before you turn to the comments, get on my ass, you know, the usual, because I do expect it with this take. Listen to me first. I know this is low. Feels very low. I mean, it's a crime to even be putting him this low because he is such a huge talent, and I don't want to be saying this, but, you know, I'm not too entirely shocked either. Look, it was always a concern with Jaden Daniels from the moment he was drafted, and he's very injury prone. Thankfully, we didn't see this first season much, which is everybody saw play out. He was a top 10 quarterback. Fully healthy, I mean, he should be a top 10 this year going into it. But there's a reason he's getting called RG4, and it's not for the good comparisons. The guy attracts injuries like a damn magnet. He's back this week, then he's not. He'll come back in 2 weeks, then he'll be gone by halftime. You kind of see the cycle? They couldn't give him the O-line he needed, and it paid off horribly. So until they wrap Daniels in bubble wrap, and he shows me he can make it 3 weeks straight without hurting something else on his body, respectfully, I can't put him any higher. I want to see him healthy, but with the way this team works, I don't think they're going to give him what he needs. Benefit of the doubt, he stays healthy. This ranking is going to change heavily. I promise it. Like, if he can just go back to me and Daniels from 24, I mean, I know he'll be back up there. He gets injured again, and I'm scared to think that's all we're going to know him for rather than the elite playmaker he was as a rookie. Because again, this team is not going to do a damn thing to help him. I mean, yes, freak accidents are freak accidents, like what happened to his arm, that's one thing. But the other is to blame it on this dog shit protection he has. The first thing I would have done drafting this guy and seeing the season he had is build him a fortress. He weighs like a $120. I'm not taking any chance letting him get hit. It's a part of the game, but at the same time, I mean, looking at him, he's not a guy built to take hits. I would do whatever I need to do to make sure he's Jaden Daniels instead of letting him run for his life at every snap. I'm telling you, Commanders are going to be the sole reason his career does not go as long as it should. So until they show they can protect him, I'm not too confident saying he'll make it out alive next season. Once again, let me clarify, I am ranking a hurt Jaden Daniels. Fully healthy, I think he's one of the best young talents in the league, but it is tough to say his body can hold up after the disaster that was last year. Please, prove me wrong. I want him to stay healthy, I really do, but reality is often a bitch. So I'm going to rank Daniels 17 compared to what I had him last year, which was like probably number 9. Really good quarterback, deserving of a much higher rank, but with injuries overshadowing his young career, I mean, I'm just going to have to watch and see how this goes. Praying he stays healthy. Coming in at number 16, Caleb Williams. Man, I've seen just all about with Caleb Williams. You know, Mr. Iceman, the cover of Madden 27. I mean, I've seen it everywhere. This guy's had definitely one hell of an offseason after that playoff run. Everyone's been up on him. They've been down. I mean, they've ranked him just about this high, then they ranked him this low. Nobody really knows what their take is on the guy because he's just a mixed bag of emotions. And I think I saw somewhere in the comment section, they put it really well. Really talented quarterback, screams MVP potential at his best. We're talking an eventual top 10 name in the league. Like, this shit he was doing is stuff you're never gonna see be done for a good minute. When he is at his best, you see why the guy went number 1 overall. When he's at his best, I don't think lots of quarterbacks can be compared to even be over him. He's a quarterback I would be terrified to play because the type of stuff he could just pull out of his ass like it was nothing. I mean, he's definitely built up a reputation at his name to a list of quarterbacks you can never count out until the clock says 0. So I have no doubt in my mind he is going to be elite. Like, it's all there. Every tool he needs to get to that level, it's all here. My only reason I cannot crown him anywhere that high just yet is because consistency. If you watch only the highlights, you won't know, but if you saw the games, you probably already know this. He's not consistent. Like, if he could play like he did in the playoffs, or should I say every fourth quarter, consistently for 4 quarters straight rather than one impressive drive, he's gonna be a fucking problem. Thing is, he doesn't do exactly that and needs more work, which immediately right off the bat, you could tell coaching helped big time in his development. So again, another thing I have no doubt with is they're going to get him to that level with even more time. But as of now, I still believe he's got plenty to work on to get his name around those top 10, top 15 talks. He showed us the flashes, lots of them, but we need to see it more consistently. Some people might want to put him that high already, which if you're one of those, I completely understand it. It's just a me thing because most of the guys above him have either done more or maintained a more consistent play style, following what's in the playbook rather than thriving on off-script plays that involve just a tad bit of luck. He can make the plays nobody else on this list can, but when you need him to make the plays everybody else here can as well, he's either hot or cold, no in between. I'll say though, what Williams has that a lot of people don't have on this list as well is his ceiling. With him, I mean, the sky's the limit. He just needs to put it all together and remain consistent on a weekly basis. Then we can start the elite talks. He's like an incomplete puzzle. The pieces are all right there. You just got to get them all in one. So as the years go by, he'll improve with experience, and I'm sure he'll be there in no time. It's only year 3. I'm not in a rush to crown the guy top 10. I mean, we've done this with other players, and he usually never ages well. So, you know, I need to see it all over again with more added on top before I could put him somewhere that high. So with that, I'm going to leave him right on the edge of 15 at number 16. I mean, if we were ranking quarterbacks based solely on their 4-quarter performance, I mean, then he's probably like number 2. He'll play like Josh Rosen the first 3 quarters and turn to prime A-Rod just because why the hell not? He is a weird quarterback, and I like him. But yeah, right on the outside with a very, very high chance of breaking top 15 by like week 4. I mean, we know he's got it. We just got to see it more consistent. Again, maybe it's another hot take not a lot of people are going to agree with, but for me, I just need to see him do it more and more often rather than just having these 3 quarters of just solid to basic average gameplay and then coming alive in the 4th. Give me Caleb Williams, 16. Coming in at number 15, Sam Darnold. Hang on. Without taking anything away from his championship run and impressive year going back-to-back 4,000 passing yard seasons, besides the Rams game in the championship and a few outliers in the regular season, the team around him did a lot of heavy lifting. The defense was elite. The run game was very elite. The coaching, elite. Just about everything around him was set up for success. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't meant to sound like hating on Darnold. Absolutely, he did do his part. Credit where it's due. You don't just accidentally throw for 4,000 passing yards your first year with the new team unless you're just like that. He still had to make the throws, he still had to read the defenses, and just not lose games for the team. Stuff like that does deserve massive credit, but here's why I can't put him any higher than top 10 or just higher than this in general. To me, Darnold is not the ceiling raiser like other names here. He is the type of quarterback that can just capitalize on a great situation, put the talent around him, protect him, give him a defense, and he'll give you winning football. It's common sense. Really talented, better than the average, but not better than the top 10. Like, they're the quarterbacks that are the system. You can argue some names, but more or less likely without them, everything falls apart. Their offensive line sucks, they'll go out and make a play. I'm talking putting on the cape and playing hero ball. If everything falls apart, they're gonna find a way to keep you in the game. He's done it before, but it's not too many times he's asked to be put in a spot like that. That's the difference, and I think there are quite a few quarterbacks above Darnold, possibly even below, that would have also won the Super Bowl in the exact same situation. Not saying Darnold is bad, because you saw how much of a difference he made with the Vikings. That's just me saying the roster around him was already one of the best in the league. It's the same conversation people want to have with Hurts. Nobody questioned whether the guy was talented. The question was always just how much of this is him and how much is everything around him. That's where I'd like to put Darnold. He's a damn good quarterback, a quarterback I'd absolutely trust to win my games. I just don't think he's one of those guys that's gonna put an entire franchise on his back and carry them to a championship. And that's alright. There's nothing wrong with being that type of quarterback. I mean, he already got his ring, so mission accomplished. I'm sure he or the Seattle fan base can give two shits less what someone on the internet has to say. But when it comes to the ranking, there's a difference between being a quarterback that wins because of the team and being the quarterback that's the reason the team wins. They help each other. So to me, Darnold falls somewhere outside that argument, and it's why I have him sitting here just right on the verge of top 15. A little bit of recency bias, but I wouldn't judge someone for saying they want Darnold as their guy. I know Minnesota wishes they could still say that. Anyways, Darnold could still absolutely move into the top 10 later on, and I think he's in a spot to do so for the upcoming season with no K9 and a few roster moves all around from this team to the coaching. If he could just throw another 4,000 passing yard season, I think it's time for the conversation. But as of now, I'm going to leave him here right at 15. Coming in at number 14, we have Baker Mayfield. Started the season as an MVP favorite, and somehow through the second half reminded us he's still Baker Mayfield. By that, I mean playing hurt because he puts it out there every single week. Like, I love the play style, and that's what makes him Baker Mayfield, but he plays so damn hard that it eventually bites him in the ass. And when he's all banged up, it tanks his and the entire team's performance. His biggest enemy is himself. The guy will push himself past the limit. He could have a broken shoulder and his mindset's gonna be, well shit, as long as it can move, it can still throw. Just an absolute dog of a player, but sometimes, I mean, the man is a liability to himself. Fully healthy, I believe this guy can touch top 10 debates. The way he finished the season though, I think that's where it gets him. I'm just curious on how the contract extension is going to go after this year. You know, either Baker's about to get the bag or some team's going to be calling. I don't know if I view him as a franchise guy, but I do see him as a really good bridge player who, while not relatively young at the age of 31, can get you where you want. Maybe not a Super Bowl while it is possible, because with the NFL, anything's possible, but for a guaranteed fact, you know he's going to have you winning a majority of your games. You won't get any better than what he gives you already, but without him, you sure as hell are a lot worse. Without Mayfield last year, based on what I can remember, they lose maybe 4 or 5 different games which he clutched up. But there's also games you lose solely because of Baker Mayfield's contributions. He doesn't go in that elite tier for me, like the main 5 or at least the others in the top 10 who immediately elevates the team into contenders, but he stays below in like a B+, A- tier or quarterbacks who have proven you don't need to be elite to play for a ring. But you do need a team around you with great coaching. But for Baker Mayfield, I mean, this guy's about to be on his 7th offensive play caller in 6 seasons. 7th! Some quarterbacks don't even have more than 2 within 3 seasons, but Baker gets some new moron in a headset every year. And with that, it's more learning, yet he still pops off like one of the league's best. I'm just saying, if everything clicks, I think he could do it. As the same with everyone else above him or even below, I think just like Darnold. Put him on the right team, I think he can get the job done. The one thing though I will always give Baker Mayfield over everybody else is that this man is one tough son of a bitch. Like, if I could have any locker room leader, I want one built like this. Not many have the balls to do some of the shit this guy does on the field. Fully healthy Baker Mayfield is one bad motherfucker, and I'm just saying he will put the team right on his back. Give him the right team, I'm telling you, that's a team I don't want to face. Just look at the first couple of weeks. That was a taste of what this team's potential can be at their best. It's just when everything starts to collapse from their run game to not having your Hall of Fame wide receiver who's a large piece for the big year beforehand, and again, a really dumb coaching staff, I mean, there's only so much Baker can do until it catches up, and unfortunately for them, it did. I still think he's about to have a big season though. Give me the biggest dog in the league at number 14. Coming in at 13, Jalen Hurts. I feel like if I had to give him a fair comparison, I want to say he's like the SGA of football. Like, no matter what he does, everybody hates this man. Like, instead of free throws, it's just tush pushing. No matter what he does, it's almost something else to him. It's like, oh, he's too calm, slander him. He answers interview questions like he's reading off a fortune cookie. Slander him. He doesn't over 4,000 yards. Slander him. Oh, He lost a playoff game when all year he's had a dog shit offensive coordinator, couldn't call anything other than 2 plays, and a diva-ass receiver who played his way out of Philadelphia. Slander him. I swear the guy breeds. Everyone's like, oh, Jalen Hurts did what? He went from overrated to overhated to now where it's somewhat of a thing to even underrate the guy. Like, he didn't just win a Super Bowl 2 years ago. I know what Hurts is capable of. I mean, I've seen him step up plenty when the moment gets large, and it feels like plenty forgot that. By all means, I am not an Eagles fan. If anything, I should hate this team for stopping our three-peat, but to say he's one of the worst quarterbacks around is a crazy take. I'd hear you out to say maybe anywhere past top 10 itself is very high, as I don't think he's around there anymore, but he can be. But to leave him out of top 15 entirely is whack. He might need a team around him, but show me a quarterback who doesn't even need the tiniest amount of help. Always people crying, they need help, they need help. Then the team gives him the help, and now it's his fault for thriving what they're given. Like, football isn't a team sport to begin with. Yes, there are quarterbacks who don't need as much help, but then there's quarterbacks who need help. There is no problem with that. He's just one of those who's put in a good spot to capitalize on the situation. So if you ask me, I think Hurts has done enough from the regular season to the post, all before the age of 30, to tell me you can't name more than like maybe 12 guys better than he is when it matters the most. I want somebody with ice in their veins, and I'm gonna be damned if his name is not up there when talking about quarterbacks who are built like that. Now, going into the season, if he plays the exact same with the new offense coordinator and a whole new group of receivers, results are gonna vary. And we might have to bring up the conversation, do we just drop him out of the top 15 entirely? The conversation people are trying to have now, we might have to have it later on depending on how this year goes. But as far as I've seen, every time the team has changed coordinators, he adapts and balls out. So overall with him, they're winners. Without him, they ain't doing shit. With Hurts, it's either they fall short with a large record, or they dominate and they're in the Super Bowl. He's a general they need. He might not fit with every team, but for Philadelphia, he's the man. The only thing I agree with on the majority is that he just doesn't belong in the elite category. He's nice with it, but I'd like to say he's more of a rich man's Dak Prescott. Which isn't bad, but compared to how we viewed him back in 22, he definitely hasn't been on that timing in a minute. He's just been really serviceable with moments of elite here and there. The only asset he provides, however, that you can't find with others is just the clutch mentality. That right there is what makes him good enough to land top 15 here at 13. I could probably name you better quarterbacks for sure, but like the saying goes, everyone's better than Jalen Hurts until it's time to be better than Jalen Hurts. It's really a mixed bag with him, because where his flaws show, he continues to showcase strengths that consistently win the games. And as the Eagles fan base will tell you, they don't give a shit how many numbers he puts up. If he's winning them the games, they don't care how it's done. So with that, I say let the year speak for itself. It's the best way to address those still questioning if he's the real deal or not. For me, he's up here until he isn't. I just can't argue with a resume like his. Give me Jalen Hurts, number 13. Coming in at number 12, Brock Purdy. This one's a tricky evaluation, because at times he's shown he's more than just a system quarterback when he's forced to throw the team on his back. But other times, it's like, is he really in the same talks with guys like Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Goff, even Prescott? Like, does his name fit in the top 10, and who can you argue he goes above? It's a heated debate I still keep on seeing, and it's why getting the top 20 itself perfect is just damn near impossible. He's good, very good at times, but is he great? Like, he's so solid, you can't say he's a bottom 20 or like a bottom 15, because with him you stand a great chance of winning, but when you hold his name to other guys in the top 10s as he's pushing it, it just depends on who they are. It's a tough conversation, definitely. Like, I wonder how this quarterback would do what he has when the team's fully healthy, or how would Purdy do in their situation? How would he do with the Cowboys? How would he do with the Buccaneers? Or even the Packers? Again, no disrespect to Purdy. Good quarterback, but it's the 49ers. Not saying every quarterback will look amazing here, because look at Trey Lance and Nick Mullins. Purdy's just really good at doing what they ask him, if that makes sense. With Shanahan, while lots of quarterbacks have looked decent, Purdy does everything right to make them even better than Kyle's scheme would do for others. He's just ideally their perfect fit. I can't see this team without him, and I can't see him without the team. It's a high floor, low ceiling conversation, just really right in the middle of the pack. He's probably the best quarterback Kyle's had for this team since taking over in 17. He runs a friendly system, but you still need the talent to run the show. Obviously, if you're a shit quarterback who's a complete bust in the league, he's not gonna save you. The guy's a genius, but he's not a goddamn miracle worker. It doesn't work like that. It's more or less with him, if you actually have the talent to be a great quarterback, he's going to make it easier for you to thrive in this league. That's just where I stand with Purdy. I like his game. He's very entertaining and was one hell of a story. Still is. And I'm glad the man got paid. He deserves every single cent for saving everybody's ass after the Lance deal. But that's it. It's just how I view him. Really good, but I can't slide you in really great yet either. But that doesn't mean I'm going to leave you out of top 15. You're good enough to get this high. Still a winner and a fantastic starter. I'm going to give him number 12. Coming in at number 11, Jordan Love. Good God, his O-line was horrible near the end of the season. The fact that he was able to do what he did with a line like that is impressive itself. But more of the story with this team is nobody can stay healthy. The receiving core was dropping like flies left and right when one came back, now this one's out. I'm not even sure they were all healthy at the same time just once this entire season. And if they were, then Love was the one who's hurt. He spent most of the year throwing to 3 different wide receiver 3s who are now getting paid like 1s, with his best weapon Tucker Kraft getting hurt in the process. Then he turned to the defense where everybody was also getting hurt within the snap of a finger. Worst part is whenever they were healthy, then they would just sail the leads this offense could buy. Bears game. So taking away Love's best man and his only protection word to them really made it a tough season. Everything says it, and you can argue him even in the top 10. Honestly, I can argue it. I would probably swap a few guys here and there, but ultimately I just came down to this number. The metrics back it up, the efficiency backs it up, and most importantly, we've seen what this dude looks like when everything around him is clicking. It was only 2 seasons ago he nearly took this team to the NFC Championship. He's got the dog in him, and we know he's got the talent. The argument I've just seen going around is that, is Jordan Love elite? Well, I would say not completely. He's not Mahomes, he's not Allen, Burrow, Jackson, even Stafford levels of elite. But he's not too far behind his own category either. I would like to say he's somewhere in between Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert. Give Love a healthy offensive line, healthy weapons like his, and even an average defense. Doesn't have to be the greatest, but competent, and I fully believe he's a quarterback that could take you all the way. If this was a grading video, I would have to say he's like in the A tier, somewhere around A+, just barely on the outside of S. He could push into it though if he keeps performing the way he's been over the last couple of seasons, while improving on the little mistakes he has with his game. I just wish this team could stop getting hurt. Give me Jordan Love at number 11. Coming in at number 10, Trevor Lawrence. I can't believe Sunshine actually made it this high in my ranking. 2 years ago, I would have called this man a bum, but hey, credit where it's due. I mean, he's completely turned it all around. A huge part of this has to be Liam Cohen, finally making him look like the superstar we expected coming out of Clemson. Hate him or not, which I did, you can't deny what he accomplished last season. Career highs all across the board, over 4,000 passing yards, 38 total touchdowns, and an MVP finalist with great wins all across the year, including a statement victory against my Chiefs. Should have also had a nice playoff run too had the Jaguars defense not done what the Jaguars defense does best: choke away a lead in the biggest moment. But even ending on that note, I mean, here's the thing about the future and what last year showed. It's finally starting to click. 4 years we've been hearing the words generational talent, the future, the prince who was never promised, or some bullshit like that. I mean, you know what I'm exactly talking about. Every year we would see 1 week where Trevor Lawrence looked like the franchise, he'd be praised. Then he would follow it up with another where he'd wonder, why the hell did they even pay this guy? That guy we knew is slowly disappearing. The more comfortable he became in Liam Cohen's offense, the more the game started slowing down. His pocket presence improved. His footwork smoother. He stopped forcing throws into windows that aren't there, and he quit trying to play hero ball every snap. Like everything the fans criticize him for, it all changed. The confidence all came back. I mean, the decision making is even sharper than before. The accuracy is a lot better. You can finally start seeing the quarterback people spent years moaning over as one of the greatest prospects out of college. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not perfect. He still has some of those bum-ass Lawrence plays where he'll make a throw to have you asking the fuck was this moron thinking, but those mistakes aren't happening consistently anymore. It's now a rare occurrence over the common occurrence it used to be. So with that, I've got so much confidence with him heading into this season. Like, he doesn't feel like a player who just got hot for a couple of weeks. Trevor Lawrence was that man for a good portion of the year. This is what it should feel like when a quarterback finally finds the head coach that knows how to unlock them. You know, the thing he hasn't had his entire tenure with the Jags, because every coach they gave him is a total dumbass. It's almost like any player that does get the coach they need will always be 10 times better. So I think Lawrence is elite. Can be, maybe, depends on how you see it, not entirely yet. All I know is I need to see him stack another season like this. Give me an encore. Dare I say, give me an MVP season. You were a finalist. So show us you have what it takes to just win it entirely. He does that, we might start talking top 5 completely, depending on who falls and who rises. Anyways, to close this one out, I never thought I'd be saying this, given my history with Trevor Lawrence and everything I've said about him up to this point. But Sunshine has officially earned a spot inside my top 10. Don't lose it. Coming in at number 9, Dak Prescott. I swear Prescott is probably still and will always will be the most overrated quarterback in current times. Until this man retires, or at least until the Cowboys get a new different quarterback. It's always the same thing every week and every damn year. Cowboys lose, Dak's fault. Defense gives up 35, Dak's fault. Jerry Jones still being alive, Dak's fault too. My damn, does this dude get blamed for the weather? It's too hot over there in Dallas. That's gotta be Prescott's fault. Anything, and I mean anything, for people to not give credit where it's due and say Prescott was balling his ass off every week. 4,500 passing yards. 45. I mean, I just don't know any quarterback that does that and then gets called mediocre, who's needing to be replaced, you know, as people want to say. The man was fucking balling out. Anytime he called a Dallas game, he knew for a fact it's going to become a shootout. And no, that's not because, unfortunately, they just score a lot. The craziest part is Prescott had to be damn near perfect every single week because that sorry-ass Cowboys defense couldn't stop a parked car. Every Sunday, it felt like if Dak did not show up and put 30 on their ass, Dallas wasn't even going to be close to winning. JJ McCarthy made them his bitch. JJ McCarthy! That defense was horrid. That's why I don't really buy the whole Dak isn't good take. I might give you he ain't elite, but to say he ain't good entirely, you gotta be smoking dick. Prescott is basically the offense himself. Without him, they do not stand a chance. Now, don't get me wrong, the playoff criticism will always be the strongest point, and it's completely valid. I mean, Ross is like what he's had, plenty of others would have taken him further. Not to mention getting paid what he does for not having much postseason success. Yeah, it's a reasonable argument. I mean, any quarterback who gets praise or just paid like it, who doesn't have great playoff success, they're gonna get clowned on. Look at Josh Allen. People clown on him, and he's one of the most loved quarterbacks in the league. The only reason he doesn't get more hate is because he's not a Cowboy. Anyways, playoff failure and just the team disrespect in general is really about the only thing they hold against Dak when talking stuff like MVP or just top 5 in general. Because at his best, I mean, one can argue Dak might slip into the top 5. But until Prescott proves he can consistently get over that hump, it's the only thing keeping him out of being respected in everyone's eyes and being taken serious as one of the better quarterbacks in the league. It's only this, so he plays like this anywhere else. He's a loved quarterback to everyone around, including his own fan base. I've seen the comments. Cowboys fans treat this guy like he's damn Geno Smith levels of dog shit. Like, you would assume, reading some of these comments, he's some mediocre quarterback you could just find anywhere in the league that nobody else wanted. When in reality, it feels like lots of teams would prefer him over their current starter. With me, Prescott's not always a problem. He can be, but half the time it's not him, and he plays much better than given credit for. Not many could ball out like he does when fully healthy. Another sleeper candidate for MVP in my books. But yeah, I got Prescott sitting here at number 9. Coming in at number 8, Justin Herbert. Getting tired of this, I really am. Not a Chargers fan by all means, just somebody who does enjoy his game. So again, Herbert, getting tired here, man. Tired of all this not doing shit in the playoffs. At least Dak's excuse is he ain't elite. Just a really good field general that people accept won't do nothing at this point. Fuck's your excuse? He's elite this, elite that. He's better than this guy. Top 5, top 3. They crown Chargers the favorite because of this guy existing every Sunday. And I'd agree. He's got A+ talent, no denying that. But he gives you B+ results. It's a joke. And I think, like myself with plenty of others, they're also getting tired of his elite talks when he's done nothing so far to earn them. I'm tired to convince myself this is gonna be the year he takes that leap. He'll tease you, he really will. He'll give you a couple games where it's like, oh man, this is finally the Herbert we are waiting for, and then proceeds to do nothing. And then every single year he doesn't do shit, I'm still saying at the end of it, oh, maybe next season. At some point, you can't keep ignoring the large ass elephant in the corner of the room. But also at the same time, I can't sit here and tell you he had a great situation. If anything, he was put in one of the worst I've seen. Like, that team was so horrible, yet somehow he found a way to drag that horrid offense into the playoffs. Might have got his ass kicked, but an appearance is an appearance whether it's you that shows up or the entire team. Which for this year's wildcard match, it was clearly only Justin Beard, the way the O-line couldn't protect them to save their sorry lives. He was getting pressured damn near every drop back, took over what felt like 50 sacks throughout the night. He was dealing with injuries himself, while half the team was also dealing with injuries or just coming back from injuries. And the cherry on top you can't forget was the play calling doing a poor piss job. I mean, honestly, you could just apply everything I said to the regular season and it would still check out. It's the reason why everything went downhill. You can get him the best roster on this earth, yet with the Chargers' luck, he'll be playing with third stringers come playoffs. He started the season strong as an MVP favorite, only ending it with another heartbreaking loss to add towards his sorry excuse of a resume. Not his best performance, and not what should be expected out of somebody who gets as much glaze as he does, because he's tall and has a big arm. That's still just the biggest thing holding him back from this ranking being much higher. But at the same time, I mean, you can't put him much lower because talent for talent, I mean, if we're talking just pure quarterback play, reading defenses, accuracy, pocket presence, processing, I mean, Herbert's right there with just about anybody in football. The talent has never been the issue. He goes band for band when we compare talent. But let me make this clear. It's always and always has been whether he can put it together when it matters the most. We're not talking about the guy's talented. We know he's talented. It's just, can he do it when it counts? Nobody really knows. Unfortunately, though, I'll still sit here and tell you I do believe the win is coming eventually. Although, I'll admit I'm getting on my last nerve with him, but I'll give him another year. Just guess why not? I mean, I'm still drinking, I guess, the Herbert Kool-Aid. But I refuse to believe a quarterback this talented is going to go his entire career without having a deep run. Either he shows us he's a different kind, or I mean, he's just another Phillip Rivers. But until he can win in the playoffs, I can't put him anywhere near the top. Just because the guys above him near the top, they possess just about equal talent and give you far better results, which does give them the edge. But strictly as far as playing the position goes, Herbert is still one of the best talents in football, and that's why I have him here at number 8. So depending on how 2026 goes for every quarterback here on this list, it's either he drops out of the top 10 or he moves up. Your call, if man. You know what must be done. Coming in at number 7, Drake May. Yeah, I know this one's gonna piss some people off. Either it's too high or it's too low, depending how you yourself rank quarterbacks. I've seen people put him as high as top 3. I've seen people put him number 10, number 5, number 7. I mean, I've seen it all done everywhere, and I think he's done enough to definitely slide past 10. But it definitely is still too early to throw him past 5. Even my number 6 compared to May is no contest. Like, he's good, but it's way too early in his career to say he's up there with some of those guys already. Very impressive start to his young career, though. I mean, I find it hilarious. He made a Super Bowl, and somehow that itself got him more clowned on rather than to be lost in the wild card. They loved him until the playoffs started. Then it started, and then he makes a Super Bowl. Now everyone's a professional Drake May hater. I'll admit it wasn't his best work, but I'm not going to let one rough playoff run erase what this dude did for an entire season. Newsflash for those who forgot, May finished second in MVP voting, and it's not like it was a blowout either. There was like maybe 2-3 votes away from Drake May actually winning the award. It was insane. In the regular season, he was just an absolute baller with nearly 4,400 passing yards and a 31-8 touchdown interception ratio, improving massively from the year before. Yes, a Super Bowl ring would have done tremendous things for his young career so far, and the talk people want to have about him already, I think people forget how young he still is and how much work the Patriots can still do around him. He's only 23, and the craziest thing about all of it is he hasn't even reached that ceiling yet. And just look at his accomplishments already. If that's not a rebuild gone right, then I don't know what is. And when they surround him with even more talent, as they've been doing plenty in the offseason, it's definitely not crazy to picture him back in the Super Bowl with at least one MVP across the next 4 or 5 years. Year 2 showed year 1 was just a preview and not a fluke. The arm talent is at levels you just can't teach. The accuracy is there and more sharp than ever. He processed the field way quicker than you would expect from somebody on a rookie deal. And his mobility allows him to showcase his creativity and the ability to keep a broken play alive. He's a playmaker I would just love to have in a situation where I need a quarterback to play hero ball. Put it in his hands and just go from there. He still has his moments like in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs itself where he'll show you he still is a rookie and still is learning, and that he still makes mistakes. But of course, all of it is coachable at the end of the day, and as they've shown with year 2, they know what it takes to make him better. So if he keeps developing and has another season just like this, with playoff success just like that to prove it was not a fluke run, then some very uncomfortable conversations will have to be made. As much as everybody hates to admit it, because let's keep it real for a moment, nobody wanted New England back this quick. We gotta acknowledge that we're truly watching the beginning of something special. I got Drake May all the way up here at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Jared Goff, the second best quarterback in the NFC. You know say anymore? Like, if this guy isn't at the top of your mind when you think one of the best pure pocket passers of the league, fuck are you doing? Every year he's been a line, it's consistently been 4,000 yards with like 30 touchdowns and 10 picks on average. It's a damn shame this offense did not make the Super Bowl by now, especially in that one year where they were like unstoppable. Anyways, with Goff, it's a tricky one. Again, depending how you rank, because when everything's together, yeah, I'll take Goff in a heartbeat if I had the right team. But if I don't have the right team, then I'm going to start looking somewhere else, because I'm going to be cooked. Goff is not going to play hero ball or do things on his own if everything around him collapses. He'll do just as good as everything around him, and that's not even a diss. That's just how he operates. He's one of the best system quarterbacks for a reason. Everybody knows this. And with system quarterbacks, if they ain't got a system in front of them, they're going to have a bad time. And it's why this offense struggled last season despite throwing for 4,500 passing yards with a 34-8 touchdown interception ratio. When a much weaker O-line, the run game, which was a large aspect of the years before, struggled to get going, and with the weaker O-line, it made Goff face more pressure than usual. Still a hell of a quarterback, but results come best when everything is going well. Give him a clean pocket, he's making it rain. You lose the game the moment he's able to get a clean pocket. You do that, he's giving you at least 300 for 3 touchdowns. If my defense can't do shit to their receivers, let alone his protection, we're gonna pay. He's the guy you want in a perfect system. Maybe you can argue 3-4 other names, but if I want someone purely for their IQ and passing talent who can carve up just about any defense thrown his way, if everything goes according to plan, give me the good old-fashioned system quarterback. Putting Goff number 6. Coming in at number 5, Joe Burrow. Man, if this dude could just stay healthy, I mean, we'd probably be talking about him a whole different way. But, I mean, there's a reason they're calling him Andrew Luck 2.0. It feels like every damn season something gets in the way. The offensive line, the defense selling him, or just another injury that takes him out completely. Last year, it was the toe injury that cut another great season short. So, zoom a couple weeks into the year, Burrow's back, and of course, they get back to action. And that's lighting up the scoreboard to still lose by 1 or 2 possessions. I mean, what to expect? Defense still blows. Anyways, with Burrow, they're a top 5 offense. Without him depends on the backup and the team they're facing. Burrow being on the field is the difference between this team being a threat to this team losing a good majority of their schedule. The only thing keeping him out of the top 4 or top 3 now is that when everything around him falls apart, he doesn't have the same ability to escape and create like the guys above him. He'll stand there, take the hit, and that's part of the reason why he keeps getting hurt. If he could just stay healthy, that's all I'm asking for. Just put together another healthy season, and I promise you he'll be back up the top 3 talks in no time. Just stop getting hurt, damn! Like we all know, a healthy Joe Burrow is still one of the scariest quarterbacks in football. But when he's all banged up and barely playing, I mean, what's there to be scared of? Availability is the best ability. He's still here though, I mean, it's Joe Burrow. If he ain't top 3, top 5 minimum. I'm going to be leaving Joe Burrow at number 5. Coming in at number 4, Lamar Jackson. Probably the easiest ranking on my list. Last year I had him at number 4. This year I'm at number 4. Last year definitely was not the year we were expecting to see. The injuries definitely caught up, and you could tell he wasn't the same guy after coming back. He wasn't taking off as much, wasn't as explosive, and it felt like he was trying to protect himself instead of just going out there and being Lamar Jackson. Even then, I still saw enough to believe the old Lamar is still in there. Wasn't even like more than maybe 2 years ago. He just threw for like 4,000. 40 touchdowns, you get the point. He just needs time to get back to that. Oh, he even looked the part in their final game against the Steelers before the kicker missed the damn kick. I'm going to trust my gut on this one and say it was a down year, and he's going to bounce back, because if I've learned one thing, it's never bet against Lamar Jackson. Every time you think you got him, you're like, oh, he's not the same guy. He'll just go ahead and bitch slap your team by 3 touchdowns. Easily still one of the best and one of the most talented if he stays healthy. He'll be right back in the MVP conversation in no time, since, you know, that's the only award it seems he could win anyways. Give me Lamar Jackson, number 4. In at number 3, I can't believe I'm saying this, Patrick Mahomes. Oh man, this one hurts to do. Unfortunately though, the king is not number 1. Again, rankings are based on right now going into next year, not what you've done your entire career. We go off that, he's number 1 without a doubt for this era, but yeah, last year just was not it. I mean, we were bound to implode on ourselves eventually, and there it was. That was the year everybody was wishing for. You know, they wanted the Chiefs to have a downfall. Well, there it is. The offense sucked ass. Defense sold, and then the torn ACL comes out of nowhere as a tiny cherry on top. So just like that, the season was over. It was a pretty forgettable year once Mahomes went out. He went out and we were forced to watch all of ducking for the rest of the season, which, let me just say, I am so damn glad that guy's gone from our team, because watching him play backup made me convinced I could be an NFL quarterback. But yeah, even if we had Mahomes, I doubt we would have made the playoffs. We are barely being kept alive anyways, only because of Mahomes. Definition of a one-man army, I'll tell you that. So because of that, it's what keeps him up so high when everybody wants him to be much lower. He's all you really need to keep you in games that you have no business being in to begin with. That's why I'm not worried about 15. I know when he comes back healthy, it's going to be like he barely left. Had he finished here, I would have probably put him at number 2. Again, that's just probably me being biased. Red Raiders fan. I've been seeing Mahomes since college, so it's like, yeah, you know, I want to put my favorite quarterback up high, but it's not fair to rank someone who played half the year over the MVP, who was a player or two away from the Super Bowl, and actual Superman himself. Both had better seasons, so it's obvious. I gotta leave Mahomes here at number 3. Coming in at number 2, Matthew Stafford. Let's see, won the MVP, probably would have won the Super Bowl, threw for nearly 5,000 yards in the regular season, actually did do it if you do count both the regular and playoffs, was 4 touchdowns away from 50 with only 8 picks on the side. All at the age of 38. You know, the year people expected him to retire, he's got maybe 1-2 years remaining, with the only expectation now being winning a second ring. This team is so talented, the bare minimum itself should probably just be another NFC championship. As long as Stafford's healthy, they're gonna be favorites for the season. Last year, I had Stafford at number 5. I mean, easy explanation. I think he's one of the best pocket passers to ever do it. And each year he's able to play, he just keeps stacking on his resume. One more ring, and I don't think it's even going to be a debate on where he stands all time. I'm going to give Stafford number 2. If this team does not win a ring with the remainder of his contract, I think I'll be more shocked if that happened than if they actually did win another. This team pulled a Dodgers. I mean, it only makes sense. He's going to get the job done. They'll do that, and my prediction is they'll go nearly undefeated. It's all in the hands of Stafford. Giving him number 2. And coming in at number 1, to nobody's surprise, Josh Allen. If I had to sit here and explain to you why the Superman of the league is the number 1 quarterback, I mean, you're doing something wrong here. If he is not at least in your top 3 at minimum, top 5 even, but that's just crazy itself. I mean, I really gotta hear you out and explain why. I just have to. To me, Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and he's consistently been a number 2 over what feels like the last 6 years. He shares the spotlight with Mahomes, sometimes Burrow, sometimes Jackson. I mean, you can really just pick who you want. When they're all at their best, they are all very elite quarterbacks. But as of last year, going off last year strictly, with most of the big 4 dealing with injuries, he's the only one of the bunch who performed as expected. And beyond those 4, you can't argue me anybody else who is better and would do better than what he did with his team. Like Lamar and Mahomes, he never really had large receiving help outside of Diggs, but in recent history, he's had bottom 10 help. Yet, it'll still take a team like that to places they shouldn't be. If it was anybody else, I don't even picture a winning record, let alone maybe 1 or 2 plays from making the AFC Championship. He can make the mediocre look like a Super Bowl offense just because of his talents and leadership. It's because of him every year this team is favored to win it all before it even starts. Having any of the big 4 definitely does give you a better shot than none. So going off of last season and riding into the next, until the others bounce back, there is no other name right now I would want to have at the moment when it comes to showing up and performing than Josh Allen. Giving him number 1. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. My God, I apologize for the long video. It's just, I really wanted to give a brief description on every rank. Like, you know, I really wanted to just go in on it. I just don't want to say, oh, I rank a guy here because I rank him here. I want to give actual brief descriptions behind it. So I really hope y'all did enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not a professional by all means. My ranking is probably pretty wrong. You know, please let me down below in the comments what you would have ranked it instead. I really like hearing everybody's opinions, and, you know, I just wanted this to be a fun video and give you my thoughts exactly. But with that being said, that will do it, and I will see you on the next Random Recap.